As a songwriter, I am always looking for the next bit of inspiration. Sometimes that's a phrase or a picture. Oftentimes it's a sound. When I first discovered the Magnatone amps, I had an opportunity to play one at a store. It was a panoramic stereo, and I was immediately inspired by the sound because the panoramic stereo provides something that no other amplifier, at least none that I know of, does. I don't pretend to understand the engineering of how it all works, but I know that there are two completely independent amps and they're one driving each speaker. And that's how we get the pitch shifting vibrato that this has. Add a little reverb. When I heard that, I immediately went out to my truck and wrote a song. You know, it was just an instant inspiration. After that, I started digging into the history of Magnatone and didn't realize that so many of the players that have inspired me played Magnatones. One of the things that I really appreciate about the Magnatone amps is that I don't sound like other people. I have had the pleasure of owning a lot of different iconic amplifiers over the years, and it seems like so many of them are really good for one thing. You know, you either have that classic British crunch kind of sound, or you have that clean, twangy kind of sound, and they're great. But what I like about the Magnatone is that I can get a sound that sounds like me, not like anybody else. But also, I can get those nuances of the other amplifiers in one amp. Though I do a lot of my work in the studio, and I do use different effects pedals for different textures and different colors when I'm recording songs, what I really like is with the Magnatones, and especially with the setup I have now, if I go play a gig, I don't have to take anything else with me. I can take the two amplifiers, the expression pedal, my A/B, and just the little pedal that comes with the panoramic stereo, and I'm good to go. Along with my panoramic stereo, last week I had the opportunity to go to the factory, meet the folks there, really see how they build them, which was amazing. I mean, it's just a small group of artisans in this building in St. Louis, and they hand build all of it. Every wire, everything that goes on is hand done. They do the burn-ins there on site. They test them all there on site, and their dedication, you know, it was just amazing to watch these folks work. I mean, these are a true high-end boutique amplifier. My rig from now on is going to be the panoramic stereo, and then the new Super 15, which is what I picked up last week. And so I have a stereo amplifier, and then I have two amplifiers in stereo. And so I'm kind of using my panoramic, even though it'll break up nice and I can get any kind of overdriven sound that I want out of it, I'm kind of using it for my clean sounds. And then I'm using the Super 15 for the overdrive. And then a lot of times I can, you know, I'm running them both combined. First up is the panoramic stereo, is what you've been hearing. Setting, and here in a minute I'll switch it over to the tremolo setting so you can hear the difference. You don't have any reverb on there right now. Turn that on. Now I'm going to switch over to the Super 15. And I'm just playing a Les Paul standard here. I'm kind of using it for all of my overdrive stuff, but then, you know, in the middle of that, you can kick them both on. It's just a very, very versatile rig. And what I like about that is then the tone is just going from my fingers through the guitar to the amp. There's nothing in between. The other thing that's really amazing about the Magnatones to me is how well they accept pedals. So even though they have so much color and they're a very musical amplifier, and what I mean by that is if I want them to be quiet, if we go back to the Super 15 here, but if I really want to get on it, responsive. There's a lot of dynamic going on there with that amplifier, and they just overbuilt everything. I mean, even the handles. I mean, when you go to that kind of trouble for the handle, you know, or the kind of trouble that they do for the slipcover, or the Tolex, or the grill cloth, or the chevrons that are on there. Even the fact that the Magnatone lights up on the Super 15. I mean, the attention to detail for the aesthetics is really over the top. But when you think that they're going to that much trouble about how it looks, how it presents, and then when you go to the factory and see how they hand wire and literally the detail that goes into every component, every piece has been carefully thought out and put together. I've never seen anything that is so high quality. It's all made here in America in St. Louis, and it will make a difference in how you play. It will make a difference in how you sound. This gives you the opportunity to sound like you and to do something that is completely unique. I think what Magnatone is for me is they are just magic boxes full of songs. Every time I plug in, I get way more out of the amplifier than I give it. It makes me sound better than I am. And I come away with a new lick or a new riff totally inspired by the sound that leads me to a song. I am completely proud and honored to be part of the Magnatone family, and I hope that you will become part of the family too.